Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, we have speech today from Karl Grieve, who is in the System Planning and Reliability section of the company here. He's a graduate of Western Michigan University and MSU, which makes him a great man. Karl has an affinity for network modeling, system simulation, and programming, as well as skiing, rock climbing, high-performance driving, and riding anything with two wheels. Today he's going to give speech number 9 from the Competent Communicator Manual, Persuade with Power. It's titled Power in Programming. His goals today will be to persuade us to adopt his viewpoints or ideas, or take action. To appeal to our interests, he's going to use logic and emotion to support his position. He's going to organize his thoughts carefully and choose words that will add power to his message. Timer, if we could have green card at 5, yellow at 6, and red at 7. Please join me in welcoming Karl.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How many of you have a cell phone? Lots of hands go up. How many of you use a computer at work or at home? Lots of hands go up. How many of you drive a car? Lots of hands go up. Well, I put it to you that if you have any of these things, you should know something about programming. And you're like, what? Me? I don't work in BTS. What do I need to know about programming? I'll give you 3 reasons. One is that it's going to save you time. Second reason, it's going to give you a deeper understanding of all these things that you use. People don't realize how ubiquitous technology is these days. And then third, it's going to force you to think and organize your thoughts in a very disciplined and rigorous manner. So I'll start with the first reason, saves you work. 2 examples. First example, do you have photos on your computer at home? I have hundreds of pictures on my laptop at home. And I need to organize them, and I found out that my wife also likes to make copies, and she'll put one, and then I'll put one somewhere else. And I said, how the heck am I going to find all these programs or all these pictures on my computer? Well, I said, wait a minute, I'll just write a program. So I wrote a program, and what it does is it walks the entire computer and looks for all the pictures on the computer, and it matches them up by name. Oh, here's one that has the same name. Lines them up, brings them together, and so then I can look at this list and figure out, oh, which is the one I want to keep, which is the one I get rid of. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Some of these are JPEGs, some of these are TIFFs, some of these are bitmaps. Let's rewrite the program a little bit. Now I'm going to pull all these different formats together and then find them. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Why don't I just sort of by date and by size? Because I figured the oldest one, or the biggest one, is probably the original one that's uncompressed. That's the one I want to keep. That's the one I want to back up. I'll post the compressed one to the internet. So I wrote a program, and within an hour I had all this stuff organized. Well, heck, while you're at it, I haven't done this yet, but why not just have this thing automatically go through, put a bunch of pictures in a folder in 700 megabyte chunks, perfect for putting on a CD. And while you're at it, the program will just create you this nice list of all of the file names, the format, what the date stamp on the picture was. It does the work for you. So that's one reason. Another reason was something closer to home, and that was the Toastmasters website. Bethany and I have been working to transfer the Toastmasters, the Rising Stars Toastmasters Club page over to the new Free Toast Host 2. A lot of this was pretty easy because it was just moving documents. You download your computer, you upload back to the website. The one I was dreading was the video vault page because it's a big table full of links to a bunch of YouTube videos. And if you look at the YouTube videos, they're all like JQX5Z10. I don't have to retype those. So I was dreading this, and I started working on the page, and I realized, wait a minute, there's this little button over here. It says View Source. Well, let's view source. Look at that. It shows me the HTML code. I don't know anything about HTML programming, but I looked at that, and you can kind of decipher, just based on my other computer experience, well, I can kind of see where it's, okay, there's the header, and I think it's starting the table right there. So I opened up the other website, the old website, View Source. Look at that. There's all this HTML code. So then I start filtering down a few hundred lines down. I think that's where the table starts. Copy, paste, save, worked. Saved me huge amounts of time. Didn't know anything about HTML coding, but it saved me huge amounts of time just being able to decipher just enough that what I needed to know. So a couple examples on how it can save you time. Reason number 2 is understanding the things that you use. Anybody use an ATM? Anybody use a grocery scanner? Computers. You have an iPhone, iPod, iPad, BlackBerry, handheld computer. Washing machine. I bought a new washing machine last year. The thing boots up. You got to start the power and things come alive. And it never shuts down. It's always on. You just kind of, anyways. Cars. Cars are rolling computers these days. You wouldn't believe how technologically advanced cars are. And it's not just one computer. It's a network of computers. Your engine has a computer. Your transmission has a computer. They have body control module that tells the windows to go up and down. Your entertainment system is a computer, and all of these computers talk to each other. You ever realize that when your Bluetooth phone that you've got wired into your, well, not wired, but wirelessly hooked into your car, when the phone rings and the call comes in, the volume turns down, your radio beeps. Or that as you drive faster, the volume increases a little bit. It's a computer program that's telling you, your car, what to do. How do you fix these things when they go wrong? If you understand a little bit about software and computers, it helps you understand sometimes why these things aren't working the way you think they are. And one thing I figured out with our washer is I went out on the internet and found out that this whole program has a little diagnostic mode that you can use. So if you hold down like these two buttons and then you push the power key, it goes into diagnostic mode, and then you can push some other buttons and cycle through all the error codes that the computer's logging. Pretty handy stuff, especially for somebody like me, because I like to fix my own stuff. So if it tells me a sensor's bad, well, I'll go in there and replace the sensor. Pretty handy. So, quick example for reason number 2. Now, reason number 3 for organizing your thoughts. Not everyone has an affinity for computer programming. In fact, some of you may have just been happy to survive your one computer course that you had to take in college. But I would urge you to reconsider, because knowing how to program forces you to organize your thoughts in a very disciplined and rigorous manner. And I'll give you a quick example of that. And that was a program that somebody had written in BTS. And it was an application that I use. And I had to query a bunch of data, and it took forever. It was literally 4 hours to get this query to run. And that person left, and a new support person for that application came in, and we were making a couple other tweaks that I requested. And they said, you know what, this looks kind of funny here, and they reorganized how the program ran, and that 4-hour query now ran in 10 minutes. So rather than something that I would fire off and let it run overnight, 10 minutes, and I'm done, I got my data, I was happy. And all of that is just in how you organize how that information is being pulled back. So even if you're not programming, what if you're organizing an event? You're managing a project. What things can happen in parallel? What things need to happen sequentially? What sort of information are people passing between themselves? That's exactly what a computer program is doing. It's passing information between data structures. So that's a crucible of organized thought, and it doesn't matter what language. I don't care, Java, C, Python, and for a lot of you maybe it's Visual Basic for Microsoft Office, because you can use that in your work to hack on spreadsheets, Word documents, whatever. The point is that if you learn a computer language, it will force you to organize your thoughts. Now, I'm not saying you need to be an expert. Just a little knowledge goes a long way, but in the end, it's going to save you work, especially on repetitive tasks. It's going to give you a deeper understanding of all these things that we use. Everything that you touch today is a computer, and it's going to force you to organize your thought. So the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what language do I want to learn? Thank you.
We have a minute on the time to fill out our evaluations for tomorrow.